Hello, I hope you are all well this Tuesday evening. I just want to discuss some issues from the 201 witness statements that were not disclosed to their defence at trial and took several years for people to find out that material was withheld. Firstly, money. £179 was stolen. In that amount was quite a lot of amounts of coinage. And we did find out that two people acted suspiciously. One went into a butcher's and paid for all the meat with coins, which they said they got from the electrician who emptied the meter. The second person was seen asking for change in a public house and left hastily when he was seen not to go anywhere near the slot machines that he told the barmaid he'd gone to. As soon as he heard the barmaid's discussing the crime, he hastily left. Uh, Second point was a person was seen, a person went into a dry cleaners with clothes that supposed to have been involved in an accident. Never traced, never investigated, the same as the first point. Third point, mother took her daughter to the police station to get her to tell the truth because of the serious nature of the crime. The daughter didn't tell the truth. The daughter ran away from the flat she was living in, which was behind the actual betting shop at the time. And she was scared of the people who were actually living there and the people who had visited the flat that night to discuss the actual crime with two other people in the bedroom. And since then, she's been moving from area to area to escape what she actually knows. Fourthly, people who were working on a building site at the time were working on a roof. We understand it was two brothers who were working on the roof, seeing various people running in various directions at the time. Two were seen running across waste ground on the top of Smithdown Road, and two others were seen running down Beaumont Street. Again, as with everything else I've discussed tonight, they were never traced, and even to this day, nothing has happened regards these people being interviewed, found, and to see what they might know. 6 point, 3 girls were seen by garage workers going in and out of the back with a bunch of keys. Now, mind, the keys have never been found. So, if the girls were going in and out the back with a bunch of keys, where did the keys come from? Why were they never traced, questioned, and eliminated from the inquiries? We don't know. That should have been a matter for the police to actually deal with. And as I just said, all these things that have just been raised, nobody was ever traced. And you have to ask, why was all the evidence withheld? Because it tells a completely different story to what everyone else has heard. The other point was there was a DHSS security investigator in the toilet at the time that the alleged confession states we were in the toilet. There was one person in the toilet. He was what we would call down and out and a tramp. There was nobody else in the toilet, according to this DHSS investigator, which cast doubt on the so-called false confession. A car come screeching out of Lawton Street and nearly knocked somebody over. Was this the car that was involved in the crime? Don't know. Never been traced. So we don't know who it was, where they come from, what they've been up to. Other issue that raises questions about why this case wasn't investigated proper. Somebody heard somebody throwing stuff into the backyard of a house near the actually scene of the crime. Never investigated, so we don't know what it was. I don't think the occupants of the house actually went out to actually check. They just heard something coming over the wall into their backyard. And this is like details that, you know what, should have been looked at. You're talking about an actually murder case here. So why was this evidence withheld? Because it didn't match the false confession. In fact, it was in conflict with the false confession and meant that other people could have been put in the dock and questioned. And not just that, but a third party could have been put in the dock because of, as part of that 201 witness statements, there was two interesting. One was actually statement to a police officer, and the third, we don't know who actually wrote it. It was just a short paragraph, and I think it had to be the police, because it mentioned the third party, saying that some people do provide information in exchange for being released. But the other statement was a 3-page statement in which somebody who was being released from police custody was alleged to have given my name in saying that I was going to commit several other jobs, including one that night, which wasn't true. Also, in that statement, the police were supposed to have turned up at my flat where I lived in Twistle Heights on the 20th floor and spoke to the third party outside the front door. So I think they were supposed to have warned him not to go anywhere near any of these jobs that he had mentioned. So these jobs were supposed to have been monitored for a week by the police. And in the meantime, they're supposed to have got a search warrant and searched my flat. But at the time, I actually wasn't there when they went in and actually searched it. So they said they found a balaclava and a wrench or whatever. So, you know what? Nothing to do with me. I wasn't involved. Was the balaclava and the wrench an actually plant? because I don't recall anything like that being in that flat. I actually, I could say, knew most of the stuff that was in there, because I'd actually took it over the flat from a cousin who'd gone to work abroad. So the furniture that had been left there was mainly his. So it's just the other aspect of stuff linked to this case that doesn't sit right. Now, we are at the stage where we are waiting outcome from the CCRC on the new material that's being submitted to them as part of a new application. That'll be discussed on Zoom tomorrow, and also several other people are going to be interviewed, hopefully, for a news report on the material that they've submitted as a basis for the new application. With what's going on with the CCRC, we don't know how long it's going to take for them to investigate the arguments that are being put forward, which have never been put forward before. It's all new. And the people who have submitted that stuff on my behalf are not people you can just easily disregard. They all know their stuff. They are experts in their field. So it's going to be very interesting. So on that point, I'm going to end tonight because I ain't really got nothing else to share, but we'll come back tomorrow night and let you know. It might be brief, it might be long on the outcome of the Zoom meeting tomorrow on whether a documentary goes ahead with the people that we're speaking with tomorrow. So on that point, all have a good night, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Oh, just before I go, I want to say thank you to everybody who's bought the first book and who has purchased the updated version. We thank you for showing your interest, and hope you have found it interesting, and that you share the book with friends or ask others to obtain a copy. We don't get nothing from the book. That's in the hands of a third party. So just in case people think we're making money, we're not. So on that point, have a good night, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care.